Hi guys, Darth Deuces here, back on the Star Wars The Black Series action figure review. Today, taking a look at a pretty recent release. I think it released last month. It is the Phase 1 Clone Trooper from Attack of the Clones. That I can't remember if it's a mainline release or if it's like a fan channel release, but he was released alongside of Ki-Adi-Mundi, and I can't remember um, if there are any other figures in that way, if I'm being honest. But I picked this up at GameStop. They had a few of them there, actually. I was a little bit surprised. But they didn't have any Ki-Adi-Mundi. I was looking for Ki-Adi-Mundi. This one wasn't quite so high on my priority list, but I decided to pick it up because I couldn't find Ki-Adi. And this is actually a really cool figure. It is 90% reuse, and I was even questioning whether to even bother making this video because I can't remember. I don't think I did a review on the plain white Phase 2 Trooper that uses this mold, but I did review Apo, I'm pretty sure, which is the same exact thing, just with the 501st colors on it. It's pretty close to being the same thing, but I thought I'd do a video because it's been a little while since I've talked about Black Series figure, because if I'm being honest, there hasn't been a ton of releases, and then there hasn't been a ton of figures that I really cared about, honestly. Like the Phantom Menace, Padme, and Anakin are cool, but I'm kind of waiting to see if I can get those on sale. There's a bunch of other figures like the Tusken Chief and the Pike Soldier. I want to see if I can get those on a significant discount. I'm trying to maybe be a little more selective with my Black Series purchases. But anyways, let's get into it. The new Phase 1 Clone Trooper, we've gotten multiple times. We got it way back in the day on the old clone body. Then they actually did a Phase 1 Clone Trooper on the second, I'm going to call clone mold, that I never actually ended up getting. I don't know why. I just never saw it in stores and just never bothered to really track it down. And with our third most improved clone body, they have made the Phase 1 Clone Trooper again. This actually isn't the first time in the Phase 1 clone. Not too long ago, they also released a 2-pack with a 501st Phase 1 Clone Trooper, which they marked as Lieutenant, but I'm pretty sure it's a 501st. And then one of the Ahsoka Phase 2 Clone Troopers. I missed out on that, or I might pick that up eventually, but I haven't been able to acquire that, and it's not super high priority for me. But yeah, this figure looks great. I think they finally kind of nailed kind of the definitive 6-inch Phase 1, or not Phase 1 and 2 Clone Trooper, standard Clone Trooper for their Black Series line. I think the proportions look really good. I think the figure itself looks great for the most part. I got a couple like small little complaints about that, but looks great, poses great. Very big fan of the helmet sculpt. I'm assuming it's a new mold, but maybe it's a reuse of that Phase 2 from a couple of years ago. But if it is new, I absolutely love this helmet sculpt. I'm actually a Phase 1 over Phase 2 kind of guy. I love the Phase 2 Clone Trooper helmet, don't get me wrong, but I don't know what it is. I just really like the Phase 1, the smoother, sleeker design, more Mandalorian looking. I don't know. I just really like it. It's super cool looking in the movie, and I think it looks super cool in figure form as well. I like that they painted the mouth grill. That's really nice. The visor is cleanly painted, the black line there. You got the gray, got the little slip of red there at the end of the fin, which is cool. But there is a few paint apps I think that are missing, like the vents here on the side are sculpted, but they're not painted. And then I'm pretty sure this little spot on the chin is supposed to be black, but they left it bare white. I don't know why they couldn't just paint that, especially considering this figure has not a whole lot of paint. So I don't really know why they couldn't have done that. But yeah, I guess I could just fix that myself, I suppose. Another cool thing with all their recent clones, they do all feature removable helmets instead of just having them glued onto blank heads. We've got a fully painted and printed head sculpt. We got the Tamura sculpt with the printing there, which I think actually looks pretty good. It's not too glossy. There's a little bit of gloss there, but it's not too bad. I think it looks pretty good. He's got the eyes look pretty clean. The mouth and everything looks good. He's got, it looks like a little scar there on the top. Or I don't know, that's just supposed to be detailed to his forehead, or it looks more like a scar, but or a scratch or whatever. But that looks pretty cool. The hair looks good. I'm a big fan of that. I'm glad that this is becoming a standard for all the clone releases, as it should be. I think the helmet looks pretty good. I don't think it's too big or anything like that. I think it's scaled pretty well, in my opinion. Yeah, I think it looks really good. I don't know. Just really big fan of this look for the clone troopers. But you got the rest of the nice sculpted detail, and then of course your colors are white and black. There's like no other color aside from that little bit of gray and red on the helmet. but looks good. Painted the soles of the boots or shoes or whatever. Yeah, looks good. Not too much else to say. In terms of articulation, you got dumbbell joint at the head end as well as the base of the neck, so we can look up a decent amount, look down a fair amount. You do get some pivot, you get rotation. You have butterfly joints actually, and the shoulders actually move decently for a Black Series figure. They're not crazy, but they are not too bad either. You do have the shoulder pad as an O-ring sandwiched between the joint there, so it will move when you rotate the shoulder. That rotates, hinges out like all the way back up, which is pretty cool. There's a swivel at the bicep, which is pretty much completely hidden by the armor, which looks great. That's what works out really well. Single hinge at the elbows that do go a bit past 90, which is good. Swivel at the wrist. The left hand goes in and out, and the right hand goes up and down. And both hands do actually have trigger fingers, so that's cool. You have a torso joint. It goes back just a bit. Goes forward actually a decent amount. You do get some pivot and rotation. Hips go out all the way. They spread pretty good. A swivel cut at the thigh, which is nicely hidden by the thigh armor. Single hinges at the knees that go a bit past 90. Then hinges at the ankles that go up and down a fair amount, and ankle rocker for pivot. And the knee armor as well as the elbow armor are all floating pieces so that they aren't like glued or like sculpted in a certain way like the last clone mold where they're like sculpted at the top of the knee, so then you bent the knee and it looked weird. Now you can actually position the knee armor to look proper, so that's great. But yeah, posability is really awesome. You can pretty much get, oh, in my opinion anyways, you can pretty much get any pose you want on this guy. You get kneeling poses, you can get really nice natural blaster aiming poses, which is super cool. I think essential for like a trooper soldier character, so that's awesome. In terms of accessories, he does have the removable helmet, as we also talked about. You also get the standard clone loadout of the DC-15 blaster rifle, just cast in this like gray plastic, and then the DC-15 carbine, also in this dark gray plastic. Both are sculpted in a nice sturdy plastic, which I like for the accessories. I do not like it when accessories are gummy and rubbery. I know it's so they don't break, but I just prefer this more. And I mean, these won't break easily unless you're really trying to break them, let's be honest. These are great. I like that you get the two options. I will be using the rifle with this one because this is the gun they use in the movie. But it holds the rifle really well, blasters really well in his right hand. I'm pretty sure you can get them to hold pretty well in the left hand too. Let me try that real quick. Yeah, he holds it good in the left hand as well, if you want to, I don't know, dual wield, I guess. But just to show what I mean about the articulation, let me just get him kind of posed up here real quick, at least in the arm department. With the articulation available, like I said, you can get really good aiming poses. Like his neck doesn't really bend down as much as maybe I'd like it to, but you can get the really nice rifle poses. Like you can actually get like the arm positions where you can actually have him like shouldering the rifle, like having the stock actually resting into his shoulder there. Whereas like, you know, a lot of times you'll have figures where it's kind of like that, or it doesn't quite meet it. You can actually get them fully like tucked pretty nicely and naturally into the shoulder there, which I think is just super cool that he can do that. And let me see if I can get a quick kneeling pose. I haven't tried with this figure, but I'm assuming he can do it. Yeah, you can get a kneeling pose, no problem, and it is a pretty nice natural looking pose too. Like it looks relatively realistic, so that's great. This is a really great mold. For whatever reason, I feel like I didn't appreciate it enough when I've gotten it the first couple times with the white phase 2 and the Apo, but with this one, I don't know, just having a lot of fun posing it. It's a nice, clean, well executed action figure of a clone trooper. Anyways, I guess I'm gonna straighten him out real quick. We'll do some quick comparison. Get him in a more neutral pose here. So here he is with the recent, I think came out last year, right? The recent phase 2, white phase 2 clone trooper. I think these two look pretty good together. This one's helmet is a lot cleaner. paint on it. I don't know why, but the paint on the Phase 2 was kind of messy. And the new Phase 2 helmet looks pretty good, although I feel like they still is a little bit of room and improvement, but I think the Phase 1 is pretty much bang on, aside from those little missing paint apps. I don't know. But these look pretty good. I do notice that there are some parts to the Phase 1 that he just seems like he might be just a little more of a brighter white for whatever reason. I don't know why. Hard to really tell on camera, but in person, seems just a little bit brighter, shinier white maybe. And then here he is. I don't have the old mold in just plain white, but I do have the old mold as the lieutenant, and I also have the captain as well. Oh, his blaster's really dusty. Ignore that. But you can see the old mold, and this figure was decent enough for its time, but yeah, there's not really any comparison. I think the proportions on the new one look so much better. I think the new helmet looks infinitely better. I actually, getting this new figure, I didn't realize how kind of not great this old helmet looks. Like, still fine, but it's too small. It's a bit too narrow. Yeah, this new one just looks so much better. And the proportions, like especially around the hips and the leg joints, just look so much better as well. Yeah, this is great. I'd love to see like all of the ranks, the sergeant, captain, and lieutenant, and commander, all in this new. I guess technically we got the lieutenant already, but all in this new mold. I think that'd be awesome. I'd honestly probably pick them all up if they made them easy to get. But anyways, that is pretty much it. Overall, I think it's actually a really solid figure. This new clone mold, we've gotten it a number of times now, but that's perfectly fine because they're really solid mold. Like I said, I think Hasbro has finally figured out kind of what to do for these Clone Trooper figures, and I think this is the best Phase 1 Clone Trooper we've gotten in the 6-inch Black Series so far. So if you don't have any Phase 1 Clone Troopers yet at 6-inch scale, I definitely recommend picking this one up. If you already have some of the older ones, I would still recommend picking this up because I think it is definitely the best one you can get. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video. May the Force be with you.